Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dice Show. This is where we dissect issues, separating facts from fiction. And today on our first show, we have a guest with us here. This guest is the first ever member of County Assembly for Nyalenda B Ward. Just to put everything into perspective, we want to welcome Mheshimiwa Honorable James Oyugiwere. Karibu sana Mheshimiwa.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Thank you for welcoming me to the Dice.
Karibu sana to the Dice.
Yes.
Now, Mheshimiwa, straight to our topic today, we are talking about governance and the youth. How has COVID changed the political scene? Since COVID came in, how has COVID changed the political scene?
Thank you, my brother. COVID has really affected everyone and in the entire world. And COVID has affected movement of people. COVID has affected interaction of the people. So this has also affected the politics, because politics is our interaction on one-on-one with the people. Yeah. You have to get to interact with one another so that you can tell them what you intend to do for them, what you intend them to do. But since that interaction is cut off, it has really affected, even though some politicians are still floating COVID-19 rules, but it has affected us a great deal.
Yeah. Mheshimiwa, your political ambitions,
yes.
What's reaching our desk is that you are going for the MCA seat come 2022.
Yes.
That's right?
Yeah, that is okay.
Why is it that you want to become an MCA? Most of your supporters would expect that now that you are an MCA previously, you'd are probably going for an MP, for example, Senate, Governor. What is it in the MCA that you don't want to leave?
Okay, thank you, my brother. I gave myself a 10-year span. I wanted a 2 terms so that I can complete my aspiration for Nyalenda B. I wanted to complete all the projects that I initiated. That would take me 10 years. That is a 2 term.
Yeah. That's
why I intend to vie again so that I can complete my 2 terms and complete my projects before I think on doing something else.
Now, when you talk about the 10-year term, let's talk about the political scene in the national aspect right now.
Yes.
What has been going around, although reggae has been temporarily stopped, it's a case in the Court of Appeal that's pending decision. Let's talk about, what do you think about the clamor for constitutional change, that is the BBI?
Yeah, I think positively about the clamor for change, because we've seen the history. Each and every election year, we've been having challenges. People fighting again and again. People fighting that their community has missed on this, our community has not gotten this and this. So the BBI is going to correct all the past mistakes. The BBI main agenda is to unite the entire country so that we can become one people, one nation, where each and every person in this republic will feel that they are involved, they feel that their agenda is heard, they will feel that their voice is also considered. That's why BBI is brought, so that we can fight on the 9-point agenda that was brought by the President and the former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. So that as we fight for political space, we remember that Kenya does not belong to one community or 2 communities. It belongs to 40+ communities. So BBI is going to bring this uniting factor.
Yeah.
BBI is going to bring more resources to the grassroots, because since devolution, we've seen a lot of changes. We've seen things that we were just seeing in our dreams. But currently, if you see opening of roads, it is everywhere. Yeah. Healthcare is devolved. We used to trek 5-10 kilometers to access medical care. Currently, it is in our doorstep. Yeah. That's why BBI is bringing more space for us, more resources, and bringing peace. We want a peaceful coexistence between brothers and sisters.
Then critics may ask, if BBI is supposed to change the way people behave, is it within the law that we should change it? Because some people are opining that this is just something of the social fabric, a problem that we have within the social fabric that can be corrected by, it not necessarily, should not be necessarily corrected by the law. This is something that, because world over, if somebody goes for an election, then it's a lose or win situation. And the person who loses should just accept and go home. Now, critics are very critical on the aspect of bringing everybody on board by changing the law. Is there anything that the Constitution 2010 cannot do that the BBI is going to breathe life into?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, my brother Cliff. First of all, let me say that when we were doing 2010 Constitution, we all agreed that there were some gaps. That as much as it was okay, there were some gaps that needed to be corrected. And that gaps are now that BBI is intending to address. According to our Katiba, we arrive for amendment every 10 years. And going for a constitutional change is something that is within the law, because we've taken 10 years since our Katiba was promulgated. I think, Brother Cliff, there is need for change. And that change can only come when the Constitution is also changed. Because we are working on an expanded executive so that we can accommodate as many people as possible. This can only be done when the Constitution is changed. And we can't change. There are some clauses in our Constitution that you can't change without going to referendum. And that's why reggae should just go on, so that we attain the requirement of the majority, so that we can bring everybody on board, so that our minority communities can also feel that they have time and they have space to also lead in this country.
Talking about bringing everybody on board, with the national politics and everything that is going on right now, do you think that we are going to have an election next year on August? Because the Constitution is very clear that the second Tuesday on August, after every 5 years, then we have an election. Then do you think that we are going to have an election with everything that is happening right now?
As it stands, I think we shall have an election next year, depending on what will come. If the reggae continues, if the Court of Appeal, we manage to succeed with the BBI process, then we can think otherwise. That election could be postponed.
So election is a non-issue at this point of time?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Mheshimiwa, let's talk about, you are a politician and you've been once an aspirant with the Independent and also with the party. Let's talk about the role of political parties in democracy. The role of political parties in democracy, especially mashinani.
Yes, political parties, like a vehicle, or just like a church, with its membership rules and requirements. Each and every political party has all the rules and regulations that govern, that guides all the management, the membership. So if you follow the constitution of each and every political party, there are requirements that for you to become a member, you have to do this and that. And for you to choose that as your political vehicle, you must also adhere to Rule 1, Rule 2, and the last rule. So with the political parties, the moment you've decided you want to join this church, you must be ready to adhere to all rules of that church.
Talking about the rules of a political party, most independent candidates, they cry foul that the political primaries probably are usually unfair. And of course, you've answered that question that everybody has to follow what is within the political party. Another question with political parties is then the nature of political parties in Kenya is that each and every political party enjoys a majority in a particular region more than the other. For example, if we talk about Jubilee, although that is subject to another discussion, Jubilee enjoys a majority in certain areas in this country more than the other. Now, when you talk about service delivery, and especially in the context of the county, you'll get to realize that the MCAs, and there is there's also the executive with the governors. So you'll get to realize that because the nature of political parties in Kenya, there is people belong to almost, there is one particular political party that is popular in that area. So you'll realize that the governor and the MCAs, they come from one political party, and they're answerable to one party leader. Do you think that the fact that the nature of political parties, does it affect service delivery within the counties as far as oversight is concerned?
I don't think that per se. Leadership depends on an individual. If we want to take or think otherwise, that it is because of our political party that I'm not able to deliver, then we are lying to our voters. When you present yourself as an individual for a position that you want to be elected on, I think you should tell people what you want to do for them. You should tell people about your capability. You should tell people what you intend to do. So if you can perform, it depends on the individual. Because each and every party has got its manifesto that it would want to be implemented. So I just challenge all other politicians, my colleagues, that let us ensure that when given the mandate, let us take the name of the party high instead of making excuses. Because you've been given a mandate by the party, you've been given the mandate by the people, so that you serve them to your level best.
What do you think about politicians who, the sort of self-aggrandizement, they want people to realize that I've done this, I've done this. How are we able to separate something that it is something that is a report on developments and self-aggrandizement? Clifford, I've done this for the people. Without me, this could have not been done. How do we separate, this is the development project, we received this money and did this, from I've given people a bus, my image is on the bus? How then do we separate this thing? Because the nature of politicians is being able to, you have done this, Mheshimiwa has done this.
Yes, I think, Brother Cliff, this is for the people to decide. Because when you give me an assignment to do, you are the people with the feedback.
Yes.
You will be able to know that this assignment was done satisfactorily or not. It is for not for me to put my image on the project so that you can justify that it is well done. It is for the people. That's where public participation comes in.
Welcome back. This is a Dice, where we dissect issues, separating facts from fiction. And today, to help us put everything into perspective, we have Mheshimiwa here, Honorable James Oyugi Were, the former MCA and incoming for Nyalenda B Ward. Now, we were having a conversation with Mheshimiwa, and now Mheshimiwa, karibu sana again. Let's talk about youth empowerment with regards to what you are doing and even what you continue to do as you are right now. You play sports, right?
Yes.
Unacheza namba gani when it comes to football?
I'm a striker. I normally do number 9, number 10, number 11, number 7. Yes.
That's great. Now, let's talk about empowerment of the youth by using this kind of sports and art as well.
Thank you, Brother Clifford.
Yes.
I know that our youth comprise of almost over 10 million. And if you look at our Kenyan population, that is a great number. And these are the people that we need to target so that we transform their lives.
Yes.
And empowering youth means we are connecting our youth with the opportunities so that their lives can be transformed. That's why, as James Were Foundation, have been coming with programs and policies that will ensure that our youth's lives are transformed. First of all, before I tackle the tournaments that we normally organize every year, I would mention just a few. That some of our youth have come with different programs that they want to do. Like recently I met a group that are doing garbage collection, and what they were missing is mobility, how they can transport their garbage from one place to the other. And they were thinking about sometimes securing how they can get a handcart, how they can get a pickup. So such like programs, you see, if you support them, it is something that is going to benefit the entire group, because they also have families. They also have got friends. So when you support them, you support a given number of people. Also, there's a particular group who came and wanted, like, they wanted a car wash machine, so that their group can also wash vehicles and generate income. Such like programs have been supporting, so that I empower them so that they can support themselves. Why I started James Were Foundation tournaments, that is 10th edition was done last year. This year we are going to do 11th edition.
Yet another one.
Yes, and we've seen that through these tournaments, quite a number have gotten an opportunity of playing in Premier League teams. Some have gotten an opportunity of joining Division 1 teams. That is direct employment. Why we are doing this is so that we can identify their talents. So other clubs, Premier League clubs, are able to scout and see them and invite them for trials and engage them in getting employment opportunities. As we do this also, we are engaging our young people together. Apart from just identifying their talents, they are keeping fit. Apart from keeping fit, we are putting them to shy away from taking drugs. Because when they are idle, they can do
sort of
whatever it is. And that's
energy.
why, since we started this program, we've reduced the chances of our young people who are engaging in drugs. Because whenever we normally have our famous pitch there called Sri Lanka, where we stage all the footballing activities, the tournaments, be it rugby, be it netball, and the people of Nyalenda are back to watching football. It is fun, That's why, as a former MC and a director of James Were Foundation, I want to bring our young people together to ensure that we change their mindset, to ensure that we give them skills, because when they attain their skills, they're able to earn their living. Because there's no single government that can employ 100% of its population. That will be a myth. It can never happen. But when we teach our people on various ways and methods on how they can generate their income, we shall have a healthy population. We shall have a healthy people who are feeding themselves. And that's why James Were Foundation has been supporting in training some of our people, in supporting them in doing agriculture. Like I can remember sometimes back I donated water pump machines to some of our groups who are doing farming
in Kapwethe.
So that they can be self-reliant. They can depend on them on themselves in generating some income through farming.
So you've talked about how then can the youth be empowered from the just handouts, being given handouts, to being empowered to the level of being now you have your own income generating activities and now you can depend on yourself.
Yes.
without necessarily depending on handouts.
Yeah.
Just as a summary, what are the specific things that you can say that you look for when somebody comes for, you know, how are the youth supposed to go for this thing? How to empower themselves rather than handouts? Apart from the various things that you've talked about, the vocational training, the sports that they can engage in, and those, of course, those particular groups that are chipping up with what they want to do. What are the simple things that you can say the youth should involve themselves in so that they in order to prevent the handouts issue that we've seen in the past?
What
the
I can
simple aspects, just characteristics of a person that they should have also.
Yes, I just want to say I want to appeal to our youth. Just team up.
Yes.
You can't do things on your own. Just teamwork.
Yeah.
Just form a group and think of something that you want to do.
Yes.
That's something that you've decided that you want to do. It's going to change your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. Now, let's talk about you are a leader
Yes.
in all respects, even despite the fact that you are not in any political position right now. You are a leader. Now, I have a question as to, is there any person you're mentoring? Do you have a mentee? Because they say the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. And some of the youth have waited for tomorrow until they've given up. Now I'm asking you, do you have any mentee that you are mentoring for political leadership, with respect to political leadership as a leader?
Yes, I can say I've mentored so many. Yes, I want to also tell you that I'm a mentor to GMO Foundation.
Yes.
I'm mentoring so many students who are also aspiring to be leaders in future.
Yeah.
And I want to appeal to the youth that the future is today.
Yes.
There's no tomorrow. Yeah, we have to rise to the occasion today and change our political platform.
Thank you very much. Mheshimiwa is saying that the future is now. The future is not, the youth are not the leaders of tomorrow. Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa.
Yes.
Now, within the GEMS, within your foundation or any other aspect, is there any job opportunity, despite the fact we've talked about everybody else being able to create a job for themselves, the empowerment, is there any job opportunity currently as it stands? Is there any job opportunity with you?
Yeah, I can say currently no job opportunities because I'm still working on ways on how I can secure grants to support many other programs. As long as I secure grants, I will be open to employing more people so that they can come and help me transform our community.
Yeah, thank you very much. Now, as we close, Mheshimiwa, what can you tell the electorate of Nyalenda B Ward and generally the youth as we close? What are your closing remarks? My
closing remark will be, hey youths, let us rise to the occasion. Let us air our voice so that we can elect the right leaders. The future depends on you, and the future is in your hands.
Yeah.
Come and let us elect leaders who are able to help us transform our community, leaders who are able to exercise the authority in working with the people and in transforming the changes that people would want. Like in Nyalenda, I want to request all our people to come together so that we can elect a leader who is accessible, leader who is able to perform and do the needs of the people, not that leaders needs, but the need of the people. It must be a participatory process where you say whatever you want and you get involved, and your feedback is paramount and required.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. This has been a didactic conversation with Mheshimiwa James Oyugiwere, the first ever member of County Assembly for Nyalenda B Ward, and we were talking youth and governance and politics. This is the Dice, where we dissect issues, separating facts from fiction. Until next time, see you again. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.